have a question for you.
Yeah.
Will you eat the nose?
Yeah, why not?
I thought you would be like...
Oro, this whole trip, there's nothing you're gonna throw at me that's gonna freak me out.
Today begins our best ever food journey across Cuba, starting in the west, in a town known as Vinales. Vinales is a region dominated by agriculture, fruits, vegetables, coffee, and their country's infamous tobacco.
Here we are, day one, Vinales, my first morning in Cuba. Today is all about a classic dish of this country, I think so. Anyways, it's a classic dish in the Philippines. We're talking about lechon. But look at that, it's like a pool of oil. Oh my Lord.
This place has a special way to make it because they make it like in a hammock. They're like, you know what I mean? How you call this?
Longtime friend and Cuba native, Oro Padron, will join me as we take on the classics of Cuba.
This area is famous for tobacco. Somehow I'm gonna have Oro teach me how to smoke.
No, I never put anything in my mouth, like smoking wise. No, I never.
So grab a horse, grab a friend, and get ready to soak up the traditional flavors of Cuba.
Oro.
Oro.
Listen, we got our coffee here.
This smells amazing, man.
It smells like,
Coffee.
yeah.
Outside of Havana, deep in the countryside of Vinales, exists a small complex called Los Lorenzos, housing 5 families. Oro and I are the lucky guests of the local community here, and there's no better way to welcome guests than with the pride of Cuba.
All right, let's try out this coffee. Oh, yeah.
This is strong, brother.
It's so strong. It's like Cuban jet fuel.
Oh man, this is one of the strongest coffee in the region, in whole Cuba. Normally, to prepare the coffee, first you get the powder and then you put hot water and you filter it, right? They do it different. They boil the coffee with the water.
Right.
That makes it even stronger.
It's kind of smooth for being so
It's very smooth,
intense.
yeah.
But man, I feel this immediately. I'm super alert and a little bit nervous.
Yeah, it gave me anxiety. I'm like,
Oro, you are a man of no vices. You don't drink, you
No.
don't smoke,
No.
you don't even like coffee.
no.
So what is your vice?
My vice is dancing, bro.
No, it's women.
You made me red. I don't get red, but I am inside. I'm red. It's dancing. I haven't told you yet, but the roots of my families are from this area. They have a culture of acceptance. This region is famous for that.
Right.
For people being too kind, too naive, too kind of like childlike. I just find out today that how I am has to do a lot with this region. This is where this was made.
Right.
Yeah.
Made in Cuba.
The root, yeah.
Cuba was colonized for hundreds of years by Spain. During that time, African slaves were brought to the island to work the fields. Now, hundreds of years later, Cuba is a diverse melting pot of ethnicities. This person, this person, this person. Though they may have different backgrounds, they're all Cuban, and they all share the distinct culture that makes this place what it is.
You grew up in Cuba. How old were you when you left?
My early 20s, almost 13 years.
How do your parents feel about that? Like the kids went on to bigger opportunities that they couldn't find here? Are they sad that you're gone?
It's hard for me to know if they are sad or not. They always like, we're happy for you. I'm like, no, but tell me if you are suffering so I can do something for you. They're like, no,
Yeah.
it's your life, walk.
I've tried lechon in the Philippines. Not once, but 4 times.
Whoa. That is like a work of art, man. Oh my Lord.
It's the very same dish inspired by Spain, but here in Cuba, they do lechon a little differently.
Is this an old gate door? This looks like a medieval torture device. I love it.
Yeah, it looks like that, right?
Yeah.
That's why it's called Hammock.
First, in each crevice of the pig, they rub in a mixture of garlic, onion, cumin, lime, and calamansi juice. Then a rub down of salt. Finally, they prepare the pig to roast on a wire hammock.
Why do they do it this way?
Porque según haya calor abajo.
Okay. He say like this is to measure like how far they put it. You know, if they need more heat, they can put it low, and if they need less heat, they can put it up, and they can turn it around if it wants.
So instead of adjusting the fire necessarily, they can just move this around more easily.
Yeah, it's easier. It will look like me in an hour.
This pig is gonna hang out here for 4 hours. In the meantime, Oro shows me Cuba's most addictive vice, and what is still a hard-to-come-by forbidden pleasure in the USA.
Sir, first of all, thank you. What is your name?
José Luis.
Jose Luis.
Jose Luis.
Yeah.
Nice to meet you. Cuba is kind of famous for its tobacco.
Not just that, like this area is like the most famous area for tobacco in Cuba and in the world.
What makes the tobacco here so different from anywhere else in the world?
Porque, bueno, aquí el tabaco es especial porque el clima.
Tobacco needs a climate where it's like here. They have a little bit of heat, but it's not too much. At night it gets chilled, but it doesn't froze, you know what I mean? So for that, it makes the air right here very special and nutritious for the tobacco.
Brilliant. Can you roll one for us? Something? Oh, that is like dried tobacco leaves. And he's gonna turn that into
This is the
drugs. All I know is that, you know, growing up, there's this embargo with Cuba, and there was like these prized cigars that were illegal to have in the US. But if you had it, it was like this secretive thing. You can't tell anybody how you got it. But nowadays, I think people can get Cuban cigars in the US.
Easier, yeah.
So it's lost a little bit of the mystique. Oh, what?
Oh, in the leg. Twist it, twist it.
Oh, yeah. Look at this guy.
Confidence right there.
Looks cooler than me.
Yeah, he does. Oh, what's that? Are you enjoying that?
Oro, you're next, by the way.
Really?
Yeah, you gotta do it, dude.
Dude. Actually, the flavor is not bad. It's interesting because it's like eating spicy food. You go through the pain, and after the pain, the flavors come back.
It kind of singes the inside of your mouth. That is the highly coveted Cuban cigar here in Cuba, standing in a tobacco field next to 2 ox. That has nothing to do with it, but that's pretty cool, huh? Hey, stop. Okay, cool. Roasting has been underway for a few hours now. You can see it's mostly finished, but right now they're gonna do a flip.
They're going to dismount it and then flip it.
I've seen so many flips in my day. Egg flips, pancake flips, but never have I seen a lechon flip. There's so many hot juices that have pooled in here. Oh, that sound is awesome. Oh, that's pretty crispy.
It's like a cookie, like a pig cookie.
Can you ask him if it's overdone?
No, mira. Ella está bien. Aquí.
They usually don't eat this part here. They eat the rest.
Sounds good. Now they're gonna put it back on. How much longer is this gonna be on here?
1 hour more.
This is gonna roast for 1 more hour and then dinner time.
Hay guateque en el bohío del compadre Juan Ramón.
From the time you left Cuba until now, it's been well over 10 years. It's a good amount of time. Any city, any country would change in over 10 years. What changes did you notice?
Some of the change is like how the country feels decayed and it feels not advancing. Technology-wise, mentally, the country feels like it doesn't have a clear direction of where it's going.
Hoy lucen su guayabera, sus polainas y sus machetes.
But on the other hand, I'm very happy when I came here because it's very interesting how in the deep roots of Cuba, the culture is so pure and the education is so well preserved. And they don't do it because they want to show the world or anything. It's like, we love how we are. We love to be comfortable. Actually, this kind of being a little emotional because I'm like, damn, this is it. Like, how pure is this?
Y llegando bailadores comay por los caminos atascados.
Boom. Lechon, my man.
It is.
It looks beautiful. As one of the cooks, you're the first one who gets hold of the pig. Is there some great section that you break off and sneak for yourself?
He said that he loved the little piece of skin because they become very crispy. So
Oh, this one's really bubbled up. This one's almost become like a pork rind. It's crunchy, but it's almost become fried in its own oil. It's like a chicharron. All right, I'm gonna cut off this nose for you.
I want you to try it. I don't want it.
But different texture. It's kind of squishy.
A little dry.
Yeah,
It's not gross, but it's just hard. It's like you need to fight for it.
it's kind of like a bacony nose. I wish my nose tastes like bacon.
It tastes like bacon.
What?
No, I don't know your nose. Well, I know your nose, but I don't know how it tastes.
It's hard not to know it. It reaches out and greets you.
I want to show you his most favorite part.
Wow, look at this. Some crispy bits, some juicy bits. He just cut this from the underside. What is it called?
Fillet.
Let's try it out.
Okay,
That's a 10.
this is different. Yeah.
I think that side's better because they were cooking this side.
Yeah.
The underbelly side, it's been like bubbling up in its juices all day. Wow, that's so juicy. The seasoning really came through. Sir, mucho gracias.
Juicy, succulent lechon is just the start. Joining our countryside feast, fried goodies made from plantains and taro root. Next, boiled cassava, known locally as yuca, and CONGRI, a staple of this region, made with a base of black beans and rice, then garlic, cachucha pepper, cilantro, onion, and pork fat.
I would like to take a moment to thank all of you here. It is my first day in Cuba. The fact that I get to come together with all of you, meet you, and be met with such kindness and hospitality, it's really kind of blown my mind. So just want to say, gracias.
Okay, now in Spanish.
When you grew up, is this a typical kind of dinner?
Very typical. In a place like this is something that you eat 3 times a week. Especially in the countryside, you cook after you work the whole day. It's not just like you go and watch a bunch of YouTube.
This looks stunning. I'm gonna try some of this rice. That's some good rice and beans. Savory, hearty, great texture, like so moist. Love it.
It's so simple, but if you see every element, they dance with the main dish, which is the pig. The rice, all the rest are the friends, but he's a star. They're just like dancing, man.
Is it the salsa dance?
It's a salsa.
Look at this big juicy bite of this lechon. Ooh, that's unreal. You know, I've only had lechon in the Philippines. They take so much care with the skin and how they put soy sauce and different stuff on it, oil to make it crispy. I can say I appreciate that skin more, but the meat inside here, especially like that pork loin, it's undeniable. That's some of the best meat I've ever had. How long have you been a band?
22 years old.
Is that water in your cup?
It's room. No, but no.
Oh. Oh, it makes me warm inside. It feels like Christmas morning. You guys live in the countryside? Do you like that more, or do you like the Havana lifestyle more?
They say they like to visit Havana, but no, they like laid back. The city is not healthy for them.
Too much rum.
No, not a lot of rum.
My first taste of Cuba. The food, I had no doubt about.
Oh yeah.
But the reception, the lengths these people went to make me feel at home was even better. Our cross-country Cuba food tour is just getting started. Next time, Oro and I begin our journey east, stopping first in the country's capital, Havana, where we'll be searching for Cuba's one-of-a-kind street food.
Snake skin, you see? We got it. You see how long?
And be sure to check out our second channel, More Best Ever Food Review Show, for raw clips and deleted scenes that didn't make it into the show.
Well, Oro, thank you for joining me on this journey today. We have a lot more adventure to come, but hey, today, pretty good start.
This is just the beginning.
Guys, check out Oro on Instagram. Oro's not just my friend, he's also an artist, he's a dancer, a musician. He's all those things wrapped up into one very unique and interesting person. That is it for this one. Thank you so much for watching. I will see you next time. Peace. What's that mean?
Paz, peace in Spanish. Again.
Spanish.
I told you before.
Oh, I don't know Spanish.